Has anyone here been affected or know someone who's been affected by a hurricane?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Hurricanes can be known as cyclones or typhoons. We live near the Atlantic Ocean, so around us they are considered hurricanes. Typhoons occur in the Northwest Pacific and cyclones occur in the South Pacific or the Indian Ocean. Today I will be describing how a hurricane can occur and how there are different types of hurricanes and how they can happen. We'll start with where the hurricane begins. The storm will begin to develop near the equator, and it will develop there because it is warmer and it has moist air, which is good fuel for the storm. Air near a higher air pressure goes into the lower pressure air, which makes new air. It will begin to rise, and as it rises, the warmth and moistness of the air in that area will begin to swirl. Then it will begin to cool as it starts to rise, and it will create the clouds around the storm. And that's where the storm will begin. The storm can go in two different directions. It can either go north of the equator, and when it becomes north of the equator, that storm will spin counterclockwise. When the storm goes south of the equator, that storm will spin clockwise. According to NASA, a hurricane doesn't start with a hurricane, it starts as a tropical storm. A tropical storm is when a storm will reach 39 miles per hour. But when the storm hits 74 miles per hour, that's when it's considered a hurricane. There are 5 different categories of a hurricane, and Category 1 hurricanes will have wind speeds from 74 to 95 miles per hour. The damage is very minimal, and the storm surge is only 4 to 5 feet. Category 5 hurricanes, the wind speeds are up to 157 miles per hour or higher, and the damage is catastrophic, and the storm surge can go from 19 feet or even higher. The categories between this will run from moderate to severe, depending on which damage is done and how strong the winds are. Now, there are different components of a hurricane. This is the eye of the hurricane, and in the eye of the hurricane, that's where the calmest part of the storm is. So there won't be as much damage in the eye of the storm. But when you're in the eye of the storm, you know that it can become worse because the eye wall, which is around the eye, is where there are the strongest winds of the storm, and that's where the most damage is going to be done. Around the eye wall, there is everything surrounding, and that is called the rain bands. And the rain bands are going to make the storm either larger or smaller. So Hurricane Katrina, according to Dolph's and Fan, Katrina's damages was over $100 billion. Katrina had a death toll of 1,300 people, and this was in New Orleans. Hurricane Katrina did a lot of damage in New Orleans, and it was one of the worst hurricanes to hit that area. Hurricane Katrina was a Category 5 hurricane, and the damage that was done is still not finished. It doesn't help that new hurricanes keep occurring in different parts of the United States, and the damage is really catastrophic, and it's costing a lot of money. The warmer the earth gets, the worse that the storms become. Hurricanes and natural disasters are becoming stronger due to climate change. The higher the temperatures, the more fuel a storm could get. So the higher the temperatures become, the stronger the hurricane is going to get, because the high and low pressure is going to make the storm larger, and it's going to make it a lot stronger. Global warming has been caused by the burning of fossil fuels and cutting down of trees, just to stay a few. Hurricanes can be extremely dangerous and life-threatening. I hope that the information I provided you with today will help you better understand the effects hurricanes have on all of us.
Yay!
I was trying